Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Akashic Readings. Does life exist on other planets? What is the truth of the Bermuda Triangle mystery? Can I find out about my past lives? The hallways of Kala Chakra hide many answers. Get answers to all these questions and more directly from the source, the Cosmic Archives. Cosmic Archives are the mystical records of all the events, words, thoughts, and actions that have ever happened in the cosmos. The time shaft can be rewound and fast-forwarded for answers that only a living incarnation can access. Now, for the first time, a living avatar who is the embodiment of the cosmos itself opens himself in a language that we can understand. Akashic Readings. Google the Cosmic Archives.
Nithyananda, Jnana Paddhati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Lakshmam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, Due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn. Beyond form, formlessness is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, throbhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 face, Ishana Murti as 5 face, Vamadeva Murti as 5 face, Agora Murti has 5 face, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 face. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 face, Agora Murti has is 5 face, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 face, Satyojata Murti has his 5 face, Ishana Murti has his 5 face. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati for Power of Akashic Reading. Powerful cognition from Bhagavan Satsang, Living Advaita.
How the perception expands. Is unimaginable. Today is the last Shahi Snan, 25th. Today ends the Kumbh Mela formally, officially. By today's sunset, this Kumbh Mela formally ends. The Shahi Snan will be over and all the sadhus will start proceeding towards next Kumbh Mela. Means the Dharma Dvaja will be taken to the next Kumbh Mela. This Kumbh Mela, the main attraction is third eye. Third eye is the whole Kumbh Ghat. Third eye is the main attraction. Next to third eye is our deities, the huge size, larger than life size deities. One of the biggest happening I saw in the Kumbh Mela, whoever I initiated into third eye, just with one or two initiations, people have started reading. Not just kids, adults, everyone. This time is the largest number of people. Adults did blindfold reading in any of our program. All in just 2 initiation. I did not have much time to sit with them. Maybe 2-3 Shivaham process and 1 or 2 initiations. Because the main activity in Kumbh Mela is eating, bandara. Bandara, 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 bandara means either we feed or somebody else is feeding us. The moment we finish feeding and take our hands off, somebody else already has put their hand in our mouth. Bandara, bandara. It's a 80% of the time went in religious feast. The ritualistic feeding. Even with all that, just a few 2-3 initiations and few Shivoham process. This Kumbh Mela is the largest number of people and the quality with which the third eye power has started expressing. Above all, successfully the initiation into Agni Samyama is done. Not only initiation is done, it is growing successfully. I can see the persons initiated, when they blow, the objects are becoming hot. Get ready in the October Inner Awakening. You can have the glimpse of the cares of Isavasya Upanishad. I'll enter into the satsang. The pure essence of these, both the imperishable consciousness, the cause of manifestation, and the destructible, the perishable, manifested entities. Simultaneously, such a person completes with the fear of death and transcends death by worshipping or by the knowledge of imperishable entities, and reaches the imperishable consciousness and celebrates the nectar of immortality and bliss, the eternal space of oneness. Listen. Listen. Cognizing understanding what is imperishable, what gives you the experience of eternal space of oneness, and what is perishable. Please understand how much ever pleasant perishable may look, appear, feel, never choose perishable, because its appearance of pleasant is its marketing department, not the reality. I have always seen crooked fellows will be most sweet. No, really, I have seen. Even in our Sangha, these cunning crooked fellows, they will be so sweet and have all the people around them, and they will have so many friends. Because they know how to manipulate. I am not saying having friends is wrong. Listen, I am not saying having friends is wrong. But not out of cunningness or the manipulative tendency. They will behave as if they are very sweet persons. As if they are very sweet persons. How much ever pleasant, sweet it may look, never choose perishable, inauthentic entities, whether it is a person or attitude or thinking style. Do not choose inauthenticity. Do not choose inauthenticity. I can give you 100 examples. What you choose inside, what you cherish inside, what you strongly cognize as important center of your life inside, if it is perishable, inauthentic, it will go on adding the fear, inauthenticity into you. Understand? If you drink venom, it will naturally be absorbed into the body, it will become poison. If you entertain the perishable entities, impermanent ideas, concepts, that will naturally become poison in your system. That will naturally become poison in your system. Understand? Don't carry anything inside your cognition which is inauthentic or perishable. Please understand. To be energetic, you don't need to eat whole day. What is eaten whole day is junk food. That is not the food for energy or health. be healthy, just that 1 or 2 meal, clear diet, vegetarian, uncooked, sattvic food is enough. But the diet should be with a clear rule and regulation. Same way, to be enlightened, you don't even need to do whole day spiritual practices. Just the right cognitions, awaken the right cognitions inside and install them, invoke them. Please understand. Now the truths I am teaching, if you invoke them inside your being, they will be making peace inside you eternally. The deepermost part of the cosmic consciousness is peace. Sadashiva. You can experience that by this verse. Please understand. This verse can make you experience the deepermost part of the cosmos, the eternal peace, the Sadashiva. Only one thing. Sit with yourself. Cognize what all is perishable, inauthentic ambitions in you, what all imperishable, authentic, conscious manifestation in you. Don't be afraid. You may suddenly find there is nothing authentic in you. Everything is just perishable, inauthentic. Don't be afraid of that. Everything being inauthentic is not something wrong, but you living it without recognizing it is something wrong. So even if you recognize, everything you know inside you is inauthentic. Perishable. Don't worry. This recognition itself is enough. Then drop the whole thing. Drop everything you discovered as perishable. Inauthentic. Nothing wrong. You may ask, then how will I run my life? What will I hold on? Don't worry about that. You don't need to hold on to anything for your life. Life is independent of your thinking and cognition. It is independent intelligence. It will start expressing when you drop all the inauthentic cognitions. When you drop all the inauthentic cognitions, you will see automatically the imperishable starts expressing in your thinking, action, behavior, response, talking, walking, in every way. Expression of Sadashiva starts happening. Actually, when you recognize all the inauthentic components of you, when you cognize all the inauthentic components of you, they will melt down and the authentic, imperishable will start manifesting. That manifestation is what I call living enlightenment, living Advaita, Shivoham. Each expression of Shivoham experience is either one power or one experience, spiritual experience or a spiritual power. Each Shivoham process, I reproduce the same biomemory inside you. Please understand. The authentic experience of Shivoham is reproduced inside you in each Shivoham process. All the experiences happened in me in multi-dimension. I'll be reproducing in Nithyanandoham.
Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana, eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of remote viewing or Akashic reading is taken from the Jnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 84, Dharana 61. Akasham vimalam pashyan kritva drishtim nirantaram स्तब्धात्मा तत्क्षणात् देवी भैरवं वपुराप्नुयात् आकाशं विमलं पश्यन् कृत्वा दृष्टिं निरन्तरां स्तब्धात्मा तत्क्षणात् देवी भैरवं वपुराप्नुयात्.
Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 84, Dharana 61. Bhagavan Parameshwara says, looking at the spotless infinite etheric space, Akasha, beyond the sky and clouds, one should fix one's gaze without blinking continuously and make the body and the inner space steady and motionless. In that very moment, O Devi, one attains the nature and power of infinite space, Bhairava. Bhagavan beautifully says how we need to be authentic. Authenticity is the peak possibility of us in words, in thought, and action. Bhagavan beautifully says how Prahlada, who is for integrity, Nachiketa, who is for the authenticity. The authenticity, when Nachiketa's father was giving out things which are useless, and Prahlada wanted to go and correct his father and went and asked, who are you going to give me away? And his father said, I'm going to give you to Yama. And Nachiketa really went to Yama, waited there for 3 days and met Yama and asked him to teach the whole how death is, what is death, to understand death much more deeper, to start living. To that extent, he was authentic about everything that he decided to do. How Prahlada was integrated to only Vishnu is existing in everything. Markandeya, Nachiketa went to Yama and he was very clear. He wanted to learn about the depth so that he gets liberated. In these small kids, when they become so authentic and they are very clear, they are very clear in their thoughts, words, and action inside them and outside them. They are very grounded. There is no conflict. When there is no conflict and completely authentic, you can create any reality, Bhagavan says, that you want. Authenticity is a power. It is not bound by laws or some rules. It is not a rule. Bhagavan clearly says integrity, authenticity are all power. When you have power over words, you have Vakshuddhi. When you become authentic and you have power over your who you are, you established that, like Nachiketa, who went to Yama himself and asked, because he was so grounded in the space that I am this and this is what I want to know. When you get grounded, the will persistence how you want to your reality to be, simply it becomes a reality. That's why Bhagavan says authenticity is a power. More and more you live authentic to the space you occupy. There is no hypocrisy. Absolutely, there is only who you are. Other than that, you don't cherish enmity or confusion or trying to prove yourself or anything, frustration, lust, nothing exists in that space. Only what you are and who you want to be. That I am Paramashiva. I am going to be in the word, thought, and action as Paramashiva. When you declare authentically and hold on to only that, whichever other thought comes, you're able to unclutch from other thought, get yourself back to the authentic space, what you declare to yourself, the higher reality, who you are, again and again getting grounded in that, simply like Nachiketa, you would raise yourself to become authentic and manifest your reality as you want. The only thing we are driven by all these conversations, which are irrelevant and redundant, which we do not want even to analyze. Whether you analyze it and make it good or bad, you have lost it by being in that space. It is not there. You can't analyze your dream is good dream or bad dream. It is no use. Instead, you just know it's a dream and you just move on with your life. Same way, our life is filled with dream and filled with all which is not required for us to do any analysis. Bhagavan says, past is dead. Don't go to the garbage and pick it up and sit with it. So it's already gone and it's of no use. He says there's absolutely no use of dissecting what has happened. Declare yourself, hold on to it, that higher reality, who you are. That only is the true reality. Anything else that you're going through, any confusion, any chaos, anything is in your dream. Whether you analyze and make it correct or wrong is of no use. That's what Bhagavan says. Bring your awareness, bring your authenticity to what you want to be. That is the reality. Because our mind doesn't want to do that. It wants to hang on in the problems so that it is always, it's like a cozy zone. This is like a hard work, but this is the very nature of you. Once you do this hard work for a few days, Bhagavan says simply this will become your reality and you will become who you are in the first place, who you were. That is what is the most important thing. This is by nature how it exists. Like breathing, oh, I have to breathe 24 hours, 365 days, I have to remember, I need a chart, I need one group of people to remind me. All that is stupidity. You know, breathing is natural. Even in the worst situation of your life, even worst things happening, you don't stop breathing. Same way, the very nature of your life is to be in the space of Paramashiva. All other things, whatever you're going through, however great or however horrible, it does not touch you because it is not happening the way you're perceiving it. We have to only unclutch and look at the reality, who we are, how we exist, what we are. Otherwise, during the death, we have to face a huge struggle and unconsciously be born in some other place again into more confusion. If we cherish confusion as our grounding, then we are going to be suffering when we are old. If we choose chaos, then that's how our life is going to be. And at old age, it becomes more difficult because we are not able to function it so well like young. So it's very important that we live I am Paramashiva and ground ourselves into that. Anything else which is going on, Paramashiva will take care. Paramashiva will know what to do. And he will simply correct it and align it for you. Only we take the hypocrisy and we start doing things. Then comes the confusion and problem. Bhagavan always says Vishnu runs to help the devotee who was being beaten by stone. But the minute he saw that the devotee is taking the stone and hitting people back, he came back and settled. So if we take the responsibility and we start doing things which we are not supposed to do in the Maya matrix, we are going to get confused more. Instead, we are supposed to do something else. We are supposed to hold the space, I am Paramashiva, get grounded in that and align in oneness with Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has come down. That is the most important and priority in our life. That becomes the authenticity. Living anything else is not authentic. It's only whiling away our time and trying to prove our identities and trying to manage our identities, which is a waste of time. And we just ticking the clock of death. And soon it'll be there, and we won't know what to do when we live like unconscious. Get ourselves to more grounded and start living I am Paramashiva. So even death comes, you know you're Paramashiva, death will not do anything, just walk off and simply you will be liberated. Bhagwan says that is why authenticity is a power. Manifestation is a way of life. Thinking is not way of life. Planning is not way of life. Having desirous thought is not way of life. Even though those happen, you have to ground yourself where you are. From that context, handle these things. That I am Paramashiva, Paramashiva is showing me this, and function only from that in action, in word, and thought to the authentic space. Simply, you'll create any reality that you wanted, living as the greatest enlightened beings. With that powerful cognition, let's move to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana are the authorities of Hinduism, Vedic rishis, scientists, time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. This is from Periya Puranam. Tirunavukku Arasar from 1266 to 1694. Lord Shiva reveals the past birth of Tirunavukku Arasar Appar since he supported Ravana during his previous birth. He now is reborn as Appar. Lord Shiva promises his sister that he would bring Appar back to Hinduism from Jainism. Appar was born in the middle of 7th century in Tiruvamur, Tamil Nadu, to a Velalal family. His childhood name was Murulnirkar. His sister Thillaigavathiyar was to a military. She was married to a military commander who died in the action. When his sister was about to end her life, he pleaded with her not to leave him alone in the world. She decided to lead an aesthetic life and bring up her only brother. Tirunavukavasar was influenced by Jain faith and started reading its sutra, scriptures. He was attracted to the non-violent aspect of Jainism, left his sister and went to Jain monastery, Patilipuram, to Jain monastery. His mastery in Jain scriptures gave him a lot of followers. His sister was really pained by the behavior of her brother and prayed Shiva to make him realize the value of Hindu dharma. Lord Shiva then revealed Appar's past birth. Though Appar was a saint in the past birth, he supported Ravana. Appar is regarded as a divine arrival of Saint Vagisar, who was a great devotee and a saint of Lord Shiva, Skailasham. When demon King Ravana, out of arrogance, attempted to uproot Kailasham, that was on his way back to Lanka, Lord Shiva gently pressed down the mountain with a right toe. That by itself has such a profound effect on Ravana that he nearly dies. At this point, the saint Vagisa prays to Lord Shiva to spare the demon so that he may be accounted for and taken to his abode by Lord Vishnu, to whom the demon was the servitor. Lord Shiva promised Appar and sister that he will bring back Appar from Jainism to Hinduism. After a few days, Tirunavakasar got a severe stomach ache. He had tried all possible holy mantras and ways in Jainism, but the stomach ache was not going, but it got aggravated. And serving poor people, Lord Shiva in the temple, he requested her to cure his stomach ache. To his sister, asked the lay down and applied the sacred ash vibhuti of Lord Shiva. Sang his first Tevaram, pleading Lord to show grace on him. To his surprise of everyone, he was cured immediately. Realized the greatness of Lord Shiva. So the root cause problem was completely healed and he was back to Hinduism. With this, let's go to Atma Pramana Akashic reading.
The first question today is from Nathan Myers, who's saying, Dear Great Master, will you please give us the best way to renounce the breath of the human body so we may transcend the ego and release all attachment to the mind and body? Thank you for your highest teachings.
Exhaling is renunciation of the breath you inhaled. Inhaling is the renunciation of death you are retaining in your body. When you be in the center, neutral space between inhaling and exhaling, you renounce both life and death, rest in enlightenment. Inhaling is life, exhaling is death. Being in the neutral space, center of the inhaling and exhaling is enlightenment, samadhi space. Try continuously to be in the neutral space. That's the way you become enlightened. That's the way you will radiate enlightenment. That's the best way to renounce breathing and all the movements of life and death related to breathing.
The next question is from Sri Devi from Gurukul Bidadi, India, who's asking how can or should a householder practice renunciation?
As per the cosmic law, there is no householder, sannyasi. Cosmic law only knows one thing: human beings evolving and different levels. Whether it's a householder or a grihastha or a sannyasi or a celibate or vanaprasthi, whatever, renunciation makes you live highest frequency. Renunciation out of fear is not renunciation. Renunciation of material objects should lead to renunciation of mental patterns. It should lead to finally renunciation of the identity. So let the renunciation be the lifestyle for every human being at every level.
She's also asking what all can he or she do or he or she avoid.
As Kalabhairava already read out from the Akashic Records, the different levels of renunciation. Renunciation of the idea of possession, renunciation of the patterns, renunciation of the certain ways you respond, renunciation of identity itself.
The next question is from Rajan, Sugarland, Texas, USA, who's asking, my humble pranams, Kalabhairava. What are the differences between sacrifice and renunciation?
Renunciation is way of life where you are continuously growing. When you grow from the birth, you reach middle age. When you grow from middle age, you reach old age. When you reach beyond the old age, you reach death. When you reach beyond death, you go for next birth. The flow of the life in its natural form is renunciation. Sacrifice is something like you give up for a specific purpose, for particular reason. So, renunciation is your lifestyle. Sacrifice is the decisions you make once in a while.
He's also asking, what is the best form of renunciation?
Renouncing the identities.
The next question is from Meena Joshi from Washington, D.C., USA, who's saying, does strict austerity, abstinence and ascetic practices remove karmic samskaras of past and present lifetimes?
Yes, austerities, ascetic practices specifically prescribed to you by your master helps you to get out of patterns and makes you achieve the ultimate.
The next question is from Manitya Ramani from New Jersey, USA, who's saying, Nithyananda, the divine avatar, how do I know what is divine will and what divine wants me to do?
Your intuition strongly hits at you, strongly raises you, strongly radiates through you from every incidence of your life. Continuously wait for the lesson from every incident happening in your life. Every incident is a lesson brought to you by divine. If you have time to listen, Kalabhairava, me, continuously talk to you. If you take time to call me, I take time to answer you.
The next question is from the same person who's also asking, how do I renounce my thoughts and will and be constantly aligned with the divine? Please guide.
Thought, will, all are just different words. Will is nothing but bunch of thoughts. Thought is nothing but loosened will. Realize this truth. Thought and will are not separate things. Both will be aligned. Will and thought are just different smells from your identity. When your identity is little frozen, the smell is called will. When it is liquid, the smell is called thought. But both are just flavors of your identity. If the smell is little strong, it is called will. If it is little loose, it is called thought.
The next question is from Sujata Chandrasekharan, Chennai, India, who's asking, Dear Kalabhairava, is it right to renounce the family members like father, mother, husband, wife and children for the sake of our own spiritual practices?
As per the cosmic law, no husband, no father, no mother, no wife, no children exists. Everybody gives birth as the flow of their life. The very idea, even the mother and father, is created by you human beings. It is neither attested, accepted in the cosmic law. Spiritual practice is the first priority for any human being. Spiritual enlightenment is the first truth for any human being. Evolving in the right direction with the right spiritual guidance is the first priority in your life. Let that not be sacrificed for anything. Same way, do not use spirituality to escape from your social responsibilities. If it's honest spiritual seeking, spiritual practice, nothing should come in the way. Anything comes in the way can be sacrificed.
She's also asking, if they are so dependent on us for their survival, what is the solution for us to jump into the spiritual journey? Thank you, Kala Bhairava, for expressing yourself through our beloved Swamiji.
No life can be dependent on others. Each life is their individual life. Each being comes to planet Earth on its own. Neither you can save, nor you can fulfill them. Never you can make them feel secure. You human beings first need to save yourself. All other things are just pseudo sentiments, just inability being justified in the name of responsibility. Kalabhairava makes it very clear. In the cosmic law, only individuals exist. Let all the individuals travel through the highest possible existence, enlightenment.
The next question is from Padma from Hyderabad, India, who's saying, Dear Father, is not renunciation a mental state?
Yes, it is a mental state. If you are established in that mental state, if physical is also renounced, great. If not, it's okay. Physical renunciation does not matter if you are established in mental renunciation, but do not cheat yourself saying you are established in the mental state and have continuously physical objects around you. Establishing yourself in the mental state in the initial level needs physical renunciation also. Be honest and integrated to evaluate yourself. That is where the real renunciation stands.
She's also saying sometimes though we renounce outwardly, those desires will still be there in subconscious level. And sometimes by the time we realize there is nothing in it, it is too late. What to do?
Initial levels, renunciation physically also may be useful to achieve the state of the renunciation in the mind, but achieving the mental state of renunciation is the ultimate and foremost.
The next question is from a devotee who's asking, I'm a married man with children taking care of my family business. Can renunciation be the spiritual path for people like me?
In cosmos, marriage is neither recorded nor recognized. It's an individual's decision. Sometimes they live together, sometimes they separate. Mahadeva has no specific records about this subject.
The next question is, what is the difference between renouncing a desire and unclutching from it?
Both are one and the same.
Beautiful Shakshi Pramana sharing from Ohio Temple. Ma Shivananda and Ma Dhyanatma is sharing on Kalabhairan Akashic Reading.
Graduation time, Swamiji stayed here about 10 days.
Here being?
Yes, in the temple itself. So he was staying here, I think, and that morning we all came and Swamiji said that something phenomenal. He was sharing the story with how Kalabhairava landed in his body. So he said that he grew like something like his body expanded. He felt like the building itself is going to explode.
Right.
So he ran out there and came. At that time, people who were taking care of him, they ran behind him. He couldn't even told them to
Couldn't wait
stay.
Yeah.
He just came, come here. From there to here, it's like 300 foot or more than.
Nithyananda, I'm sorry about that. We got disconnected.
Yes.
You were saying?
Yeah, he was coming out, and from there to the pole, then we'll be showing you the pole. This is about 300 feet.
Right.
Or,
quite far.
Quite far. It could be more also, because we are saying approximately. He said just that he took one step, and he was, how high the pole is now?
Yeah.
And he was higher than that. Okay. And then he, this long driveway, you can show, and he just took one more step and he was on the road, he said.
Oh, way out there.
Way out there.
Oh, God.
And he grew big. He was like,
So that's the pole, right?
yes. So that's the day Kalabhairava was landing in Swamiji's body
For the first time.
for the first time, and he was sharing that with us. I mean, it was the best experience we all had. Swamiji's sharing that story. So that is a very special spot for us. So it's really a amazing experience for all of us who were there at that time.
Awesome. So Kalabhairava is considered the Lord of Time, another
Yes, dimension of Shiva.
dimension of Shiva. So you were talking about Akashic Records. Maybe you can tell a little bit more, like what's happening. Because now our Bala sons in the Nithyananda Gurukul are actually go into that Kalabhairava's presence place and they answer questions. Maybe you can tell more about that.
Yes, the Akashic archives are read by Kalabhairava. They go into the space of the initiated Gurukul kids, and they get, once they get initiated, they are able to connect with the Kalabhairava energy, and they're able to read the Akashic records. Means the archives are there. It's not like we just have to access it. It's already recorded. It is so whatever your life. This is for everybody, not only for Indians. This is for everybody all over the universe or beyond.
Any thought, past, present,
it's
future
recorded
is recorded in the Akashic Records.
In the Akashic records. So that is read, and it is amazing how the Akashic, when people have experiences with the Akashic records, when the Balasants read it, it's an amazing experience, and their answers are phenomenal.
Yes.
So Kalabhairava,
they're so direct and so compassionate.
Yes, compassionate. Yeah. Kalabhairava is so I used to think Kalabhairava was like so. I was afraid of Kalabhairava, but now he's like my friend. He's like Kalabhairava is like he has a fierce look, but Kalabhairava is your friend, and he answers the questions. He's part of you.
Right, and Kalabhairava energy, what I experience, is ferocious with our patterns.
Right.
That's what we need, actually.
He doesn't want us to be in a powerless space, no matter what is happening outside. We cannot go into a powerless space. So he's there to put us in the powerful space.
Wonderful.
That's what I feel. Yes. I cognize with Kalabhairava, because he's there to give you that hold to get up and walk. Yes. And there
to be like Kalabhairava.
If Kalabhairava is there, you don't have to be. You can be fearless.
Yes, wonderful. So this was just so amazing. I wanted to share because Kalabhairava landed in Swamiji first year, and then Swamiji started doing Akashic Records several years ago, and many of us were fortunate to be able to ask questions at that time. And now he's initiated so many of the Gurukul Balasants. So if you're in India and you're able to go to the Bengaluru Adinam, you can go straight there and ask them directly. It's a phenomenal experience. You will feel so like refreshed and so like grateful for having access to information that you may never ever know or get a glimpse of or have it in the wrong context. It's like the truth delivered for you at the moment, what you exactly need to hear for the question you ask. You can ask any question.
And also, he completes you.
Yes.
He really completes you with the answer.
Right.
When you hear from him. And fortunate for us, when what do they say, when the Muhammad doesn't come to the mountain, mountain doesn't go to the Muhammad, Muhammad comes to the mountain, like that. People who are here in the United States, especially in one of the towns in the Adinams, the Balasants who are reading this Akashic record through the Kalabhairava energy are visiting here. For our town, it will be September 12th. It's a weekday. It's Tuesday. So please get in touch with us with the temple.
With this, let's go to the instruction for manifesting the power of Akashic reading.
Prataksha Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. The science behind Akashic reading. As time exists simultaneously as a dimension of space, all energy or information, energy is nothing but subjective information, is waiting to be decoded depending on the parameters and objects used. To explain this with a simple analogy, electricity is coded energy and is decoded in an object called a light bulb and thus manifests as the light. At a classical level, all information is stored in bits in computer language as a binary of 0 and 1, which is then decoded by the software of the computer. As mentioned earlier, at the quantum level, information is stored as qubits. These qubits of information are present across the entire fabric of the cosmos and represent the entire information held within the cosmos in time and space. Interestingly, at the quantum level, the binary system exists as 0 and 1 separately, but happens simultaneously and concurrently, such that both 0 and 1 exist at the same time. Information regarding past, present, or future of a quantum nature is available, waiting to be decoded, but at the present moment, there exists no technology in science which can work as a true quantum computer and has the software to understand all the information and underlying principles of the cosmos. Biologically, the human brain has been linked to the equivalent of quantum computer. An avatar in the form of being, like Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is able to access the qubits of information stored across the cosmos as Akashic readings, as he himself is both the software and the hardware, the subject and the object of the quantum universe. Source taken from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 3, Akashic Reading, page 90. We will now introduce a video on Retrieve Your Akashic Records by the Avatar himself, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, on the morning of 29th March 2011 at Paddhati Ashram, Bengaluru, India.
Please understand, any action you do just based on the physical body will leave its wave and the archive in physical layer. All your physical actions get gathered and archived in the physical layer of the cosmos. Understand? Even a small act you do, like a simple eating, gets recorded in your file in the cosmic physical archives. Same way, any small thought crosses your mind, like, I think I should go and lie down and sleep. Even this simple thought gets recorded in your mental layer as a file and stored in the cosmic archives. Anything happened from the beginning in all 7 levels, in all beings, is available alive. Understand? 3000 years before, when you were in the pig body or buffalo body or elephant body or dinosaur body, what you thought on particular day and particular moment can be retrieved without any corruption or mismanagement or alteration. Whole thing is available. If the action which you did is performed from the first layer, it will be available in first layer file. If it is from second layer, it will be available from the second layer file. If it is from third layer of your body, it will be available from third layer of the file. But one important thing is, billions and billions of first layer files are available. Millions and millions of second layer files are available. But only thousands of third layer files are available, because people don't function from second layer and third layer. Understand? So when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, only few thousand or few hundred files are available from the 7th layer actions.
Each individual's DNA holds its personal Akashic records. Science says that the human species has evolved with a two-stranded DNA, which is found in every cell, which determines the form as well as the potential diseases and skills we can have. Scientists are very clear that what we think is not our original blueprint because we are able to study only one part of the DNA till now. The other unrevealed part, which scientists have not been able to study or logically understand its function, they have labeled as junk DNA or shadow DNA. Scientists are absolutely right when they say there are two parts in the DNA, and one part which they are able to study is responsible for the form and diseases. The other part is what is responsible for our spiritual gifts. I tell you, the other part is what carries all the siddhis and superhuman powers. I can say the part which is already discovered is junk DNA. The part which is not yet discovered, or maybe I can use the word yet to be realized, it is this part that contains information about who you really are on a level of spiritual beingness. It is that part to which I gave the name Jivatma, the individual consciousness, or individual self-DNA. It is that part which carries our divine personality. By His Divine Holiness Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.